Everyone, Dr. Christianson at Core Wellness, and we have a special guest today that I'm interviewing, and a special friend, and her name is Mary Beth. Most people know her as MB, and I'll let her explain why she's so special.
My name is Mary Beth Prodromides, and I'm a middle school PE teacher in Grand Junction, and I have done fitness probably since I was a kid, starting with gymnastics and then doing all the school sports and bodybuilding, and then had 4 kids. And then when I was 50, I decided I was introduced to CrossFit and I fell in love.
Cool. And you compete in CrossFit, if I remember right, and you just came back from?
I just came back from the CrossFit Games. It's my 7th appearance. And I won this year.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And that's where you picked up this stuff.
Yeah, I got this medal this year, and then all the rest I won over the past 8 years. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Thanks.
So, just so our audience knows, what does it take to qualify, to get to the games? What does that look like?
The competition part is called the Open, and you have to be in the top 200 in the world to go to the master qualifying round. And then from that competition, you only top 20 go to the CrossFit World Games. I was ranked 14th in the Open, and then I brought myself back up to 2nd in the qualifier, and now I just won the games.
Cool.
For my age group.
Awesome, congratulations. And this was Mary Beth's 4th time winning.
Yeah.
And then she's taken a couple runner-up.
Yeah, 2011 I won, 2012 I took 2nd, 2013 I took 7th, 2014 I took 1st, 2016 I took 1st, and last year I took 2nd, and this year I took 1st, yeah.
Well, 4-time world champion. So tell us a little bit about the difference between a 1st place finish and a 2nd place finish. What's the difference between 1st and 2nd?
At this level, the difference is who makes the least amount of mental mistakes and no reps in the workout.
All right. So it's not necessarily who's on, it's just whoever makes the least amount of mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 1st place is the one that makes the least amount of mistakes. They go home a lot more satisfied than 2nd place.
Definitely. Yeah, but I learn a lot from each one of these competitions, CrossFit game competitions, but the one that made a huge difference was the 7th place in the world that I got, because I learned that it really takes a lot of work to be able to earn your spot on the podium. And then on the 2nd places, I just got outworked, and more power to them.
Sure.
So that's how that goes.
There were people that outworked you.
Yes, yes, not this year.
I have a hard time believing it, but I don't know them. I just know you.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's good to hear. Now, a lot of people have a negative connotation with CrossFit. They say it causes injury, it's a silly way of fitness. What do you say to those people that say CrossFit just hurts people or causes injury?
Well, I think if you have a good gym and a good coach and you listen to your body, you're going to be fine in CrossFit. There's many other sports where people get hurt, and it's because they're not listening to their bodies and they're being weekend warriors, and it goes for all sports.
Yeah. If you're not getting feedback from your own body, you don't listen to it and respect it,
right,
you're going to get hurt.
Right.
No matter what it is, whether it be working at a desk or being on your feet all day,
right,
or running miles or cycling miles or throwing bars
I think a big question that I didn't understand in the beginning, but now I do better, is risk versus reward. And up to this year, it was worth the risk.
Yep.
So.
Cool. All right, so you've been rewarded numerous different ways. The medals show it. Let's talk a little bit more about how you're going to use what you've done over the past few years, over the next 5 years, over the next 10 years. What does that look like for you? How do you see yourself using the fitness that you've gained over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years?
Well, CrossFit, you have to have a lot of skill involved. And the skills that I've learned in doing different movements, that I will use to coach up other people and help them. And my middle school students, of course, will gain from that. But something that's huge about what I've learned from CrossFit as far as being mentally fit or mental toughness is how to do that, and teaching the next generation, the kids that I teach, how to be mentally tough, because they're going to face a lot of hard things in their lives. I just feel like I'm giving them tools to live for a lifetime.
Awesome. Cool. So you're going to use it to benefit others?
Yes,
Cool.
yes, that's the whole point.
And you're mostly in contact with people from school, that generation, your middle schoolers. What if you run into old high school classmate or something like that who sees a kettlebell and they're like, I'm not picking that up, it's going to hurt me? What do you say to other people in your generation about lifting weights?
I tell them all the time. I tell people all the time at any age that they can do CrossFit, because CrossFit is scalable. It can be modified for each person's strength and ability, and be done in a safe way. Plus, even if it's not CrossFit, it's just sport in general. I think as we grow older, I mean, I'm 57. As we grow older, the more we're moving, the better our bodies cope with the day-to-day life and actually get stronger. I mean, I'm better at some things than I've ever been in my life, in most things, actually.
Nice. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the consistency of doing things, being active, moving weights, and doing it within a level that's for your individual fitness level.
Yes, exactly. You said it perfect.
Cool. So, any other advice for people who want to get into CrossFit or weightlifting or?
Yeah, sure. I think if you find something you love to do that has to do with movement, you should go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it and deal with whatever comes up as it comes up, like I have. I mean, I've had a few things come up, and that's why I love coming to Dr. Bryce Christianson for my chiropractic care. Since 2012, I mean, first time I came in here was my knee and meniscus surgery, and it still hurt, and he made it so it didn't hurt anymore, and it was wonderful. And then, gosh, I have L4, L5 from when I was a gymnast fused, and that first visit, he worked on my knee, but he said, hey, let me look at your back a little bit, and he did, and I got off the table, and I walked, and I have not ever, I mean, since I was a kid, not felt so great in my back. Thank you. And then when I had shoulder surgery, major shoulder surgery, I wasn't sure I was going to have surgery, and I got Bryce all my medical records, and he looked over it, and he said, Mary Beth, you need to do this. And I trust him. So I did it, and I'm back to 100% with my shoulder.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm good.
So the rewards outweigh the risks.
Up to this point in my life, the rewards outweighed the risks. This year, in May, I wasn't too sure about that because my knee freaked out for no apparent reason, and for 5 weeks I couldn't train how I know how I'm supposed to train for the games. So I had to work around my knee and still keep my cardio up, still keep my strength up.
Yep.
And then the 2 weeks before these games, we started trying stuff, but nothing super dynamic, and we saved it for the games. And to my blessing, it worked out.
Cool. So you played to your strengths. It didn't irritate
Exactly.
things over to it, and it worked out just
Yeah.
perfectly.
Yeah. So people who say train through your injury, that's not true. Work around it.
Work around it, yeah. And we do a process here that we call the athlete audit process, that we itemize what you can do and what you can't do, and just focus on the movements that you can do, while the other ones are healing, and everything gets built up. And
Yeah.
it always works.
It works for me.
Yeah. Any other comments you want to give to the viewers? Any other inspiration you want to give to people who are looking to get fit?
Yes, I do have something to say. When I first came into CrossFit, I would always look at other people and think, I wish I could do that. I want to do that. And then something about CrossFit, they teach you a growth mindset, and it changed into if she can, I can. If he can, I can. And that was the ticket for me to start being a better athlete in my mind. Because I think a lot of our battles are in our mind. I used to get all, why is this so hard? Like that. And then my coach one day said to me, he said, it's supposed to be hard. And then I would tell myself that. It's supposed to be hard. That's how you get better. And this means you are getting better. Your fitness level is rising if you are pushing through. So it's one thing to recognize the suck, and it's another thing to embrace the suck. And the third one is chase it, chase the suck. That has been this year. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And so this is what I say. If it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. Go for it. Go get fit. You'll feel better.
And it takes work to get there.
Yeah.
It's really easy to compare it. It's human nature to compare yourself to other people. But what you need to compare is not what they're currently doing, what you're seeing in other people, but compare your work ethic to what they did to get there, and being consistent with it.
Because if you really understand that if you believe in effort, basically you're saying you believe that if you practice, you'll get better. And so this doesn't just apply to our fitness level, it applies to all of our life.
Yep.
And so if you're not very good at something, practice and you'll get better at it. And that has been so true in my life.
Yep. It doesn't come without effort.
No, it doesn't come without effort.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
My pleasure.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Very, very proud of you, and I wish everyone could see the effort and the work ethic and the determination and consistency behind this medal.
Thank you. Thank you.